What are we to make of these mysterious sounds reverberating across the globe? From Fair Lawn, New Jersey, to Oklahoma City, residents have been shaken by strange noises seemingly emanating from the heavens. Yet, it is Jerusalem, the ancient cradle of divine history, that has captured the world's gaze. Could these celestial sounds be mere coincidences, or are we witnessing the fulfillment of prophetic events long foretold? In the context of biblical prophecy, Jerusalem holds unique significance. This sacred city, cherished by Judaism, Christianity, and Islam alike, is said to be the stage for the culmination of God's divine plan. Prophecies speak of trumpet blasts that would announce the return of the Messiah, but is this recent trumpet-like sound one of those signs? Or is it simply another natural phenomenon, as skeptics suggest? The heart of this issue lies not only in the sounds themselves, but in the reactions of those who heard them. Witnesses in Jerusalem reported seeing visions of Christ, bathed in light, descending with angels. Such accounts have ignited global discussions, with many interpreting this event as a divine revelation, perhaps even a fulfillment of end-times prophecy. These extraordinary experiences stir the imagination and leave us wondering, are we on the verge of witnessing biblical prophecies unfold before our eyes? Stay tuned, for this is just the beginning. The times we are living in may hold deeper spiritual meaning than we realize. Don't turn away, this could be the moment we have been waiting for. The sound of trumpets, often associated with biblical prophecy, is deeply symbolic in Christian eschatology. In the book of Revelation, the sound of trumpets heralds significant events leading up to the second coming of Christ. The trumpets are not only a call to attention, but a divine proclamation, a signal that the promises of God are being fulfilled. The connection between these sounds in Jerusalem and the prophecies of the Bible has stirred the hearts of believers and non-believers alike. Even those skeptical of religious beliefs were left speechless by the majesty and mystery of the event. As Jesus Christ appeared, descending with a host of angels, his presence brought peace and awe who witnessed it. Those who saw the event spoke of a comforting light, a radiance that filled their souls with hope and tranquility. For many, this was more than just a celestial event, it was a moment of spiritual awakening, a reminder of God's unwavering love and his desire to draw all people back to himself. The peace that filled the atmosphere contrasted sharply with the chaotic and troubled world below, offering a glimpse of the divine grace that God extends to humanity even in the darkest of times. Witnesses responded with a mixture of awe and introspection. Some fell to their knees in prayer, overwhelmed by the presence of the divine. Others, who may have been indifferent to matters of faith, found themselves questioning the meaning of life and the possibility of a higher power. This event transcended religious boundaries, speaking to the universal human longing for connection with something greater than ourselves. It was a moment that drew people together in shared wonder and reflection, challenging the divisions that so often separate us. The spiritual significance of this event cannot be overstated. It serves as a reminder that God is still active in the world, that he continues to reach out to his creation with love and compassion. The trumpet sounds and the appearance of Jesus Christ are not just signs of judgment, as some might fear, but also symbols of hope and renewal. They call people to examine their lives, to turn away from selfishness and hatred, and to embrace the values of forgiveness, compassion, and unity. In the context of Christian eschatology, this event holds profound meaning. The appearance of Christ, the angels, and the trumpets echo the apocalyptic imagery found in the Bible. Many see this as a sign that the long-awaited second coming of Christ is near, a moment when God will establish his kingdom on earth and bring an end to all suffering and evil. For believers, this is a time of great expectation, a time to renew their faith and prepare their hearts for the return of the King. The trumpet blasts, in this sense, are a call to readiness, a reminder that the fulfillment of God's promises is imminent. Jerusalem, the city where this event occurred, holds a unique place in history and prophecy. It has been the center of countless conflicts, conquests, and rebuildings, and yet it remains a symbol of spiritual hope and renewal. In Christian theology, Jerusalem is the prophesied location of Christ's return and the final battle between good and evil. The city's deep religious significance adds layers of meaning to this celestial event, linking the past, present, and future in a divine narrative that transcends time. Yet Jerusalem is also a city fraught with geopolitical tension. The ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict, disputes over sacred sites, and the broader regional struggles make it a focal point of global attention. This celestial phenomenon, occurring in such a contested and symbolic place, has only intensified the discourse around its meaning. Some view it as a divine intervention in the midst of human conflict, a call for peace and reconciliation. Others see it as a warning, a sign that the world's current trajectory of violence and division must change. The global reaction to this event has been diverse. Social media platforms have been flooded with videos, eyewitness accounts, and speculations. While some attribute the event to natural causes, others believe it to be a miracle, a divine message to a world in need of hope. The discussions surrounding this event have brought together people from different faiths and backgrounds, united by a shared sense of wonder and uncertainty. In a world that is often divided by religious and political lines, this celestial event has created a moment of reflection and dialogue about the deeper meaning of life and the possibility of the divine. For Christians, the event is a powerful reminder of God's faithfulness and the reality of His promises. It points to the hope of Christ's return and the ultimate victory of good over evil. But beyond the eschatological significance, it also calls believers to live out their faith in practical ways by showing love, kindness, and mercy to others. The trumpet sounds are a call to action, a reminder that faith is not just about waiting for the end, but about actively participating in God's work in the world. As the world grapples with the meaning of this celestial event, it is clear that it has touched something deep within the human soul. Whether interpreted as a miracle or a mystery, it has reminded people of the possibility of divine intervention, the hope of redemption, and the enduring presence of God in a broken world. It is a moment that invites all of humanity to pause, reflect, and consider the deeper truths of existence. And in that reflection, there is an opportunity for renewal, for returning back to the values of compassion, forgiveness, and unity that lie at the heart of the divine message. Throughout history, celestial phenomena have captivated humanity, often seen as harbingers of divine will or cosmic omens. These extraordinary events, appearing in the heavens above, have sparked both fear and wonder, weaving themselves into the fabric of human culture, religion, and politics. The recent celestial event in Jerusalem, where a sound resembling the blast of a trumpet echoed across the ancient city, has reignited this age-old tradition. Jerusalem, a city of immense religious and historical significance, now finds itself once again at the center of a celestial event that has sparked widespread discussion and debate across faiths and nations. In many ways, this event symbolizes the city's enduring place in both religious prophecy and the collective imagination of humanity. From ancient times, celestial phenomena have been interpreted as signs from the divine. The Bible, for instance, is rich with stories where the heavens declare the glory of God and communicate His will to humanity. One of the most notable examples is the Star of Bethlehem, which guided the wise men to the birthplace of Jesus Christ. This star wasn't just a physical light in the sky, it was a symbol of divine intervention and guidance, a beacon that pointed to the fulfillment of prophecy and the coming of the Messiah. Similarly, in the battle between the Medes and Lydians in 585 BC, a solar eclipse turned the day to night, prompting the warring nations to immediately cease hostilities. This celestial event was interpreted as a divine command to stop the bloodshed, underscoring the powerful influence such phenomena can have on human behavior and history. The celestial sounds heard over Jerusalem therefore carry with them a weight of historical and prophetic significance. In Christian eschatology, Jerusalem is not just any city, it is the prophesied stage upon which the final acts of human history will unfold. According to the book of Revelation, trumpet blasts will accompany the return of Christ and the establishment of God's eternal kingdom. The recent sighting of what many believe to be a divine figure, resembling Jesus Christ, only adds to the eschatological implications of this event. For believers, the sounds and the figure are not mere coincidences, but part of a divine message, a call to prepare for the fulfillment of God's ultimate plan. However, the interpretation of celestial phenomena has never been limited to one culture or faith. In Greek mythology, celestial signs were often viewed as messages from the gods, revealing their pleasure or wrath. In the Iliad, for example, the gods frequently use celestial signs to communicate with mortals, guiding their actions in times of war and peace. Hinduism, too, contains references to divine intervention through celestial events, as seen in the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna reveals his divine form, accompanied by celestial signs, to Arjuna on the battlefield. These stories reflect a universal human desire to understand the divine and find meaning in the mysteries of the cosmos. As celestial events continue to occur in modern times, they evoke similar responses from the global community. The recent sighting in Jerusalem has stirred theological discussions not only within Christianity, but also across Islam and Judaism. Both of these Abrahamic faiths hold eschatological beliefs that involve the city of Jerusalem and the eventual coming of a messianic figure. In Islam, the Mahdi is prophesied to appear before the Day of Judgment, while in Judaism, the arrival of the Messiah is awaited as the fulfillment of God's promise to restore Israel and bring peace to the world. This shared eschatological vision of Jerusalem's significance has led many to view the recent celestial event as a possible sign of the times. Yet, as with all celestial phenomena, there are competing interpretations. Modern science offers explanations for these events that remove the divine from the equation. Scientists have suggested that the sounds heard in Jerusalem may be the result of natural phenomena, such as atmospheric pressure waves, or even advanced holographic technology capable of creating optical illusions. These explanations, while compelling, only add complexity to the interpretation of such events, leaving room for both faith and skepticism. In a world increasingly dominated by technology and rationalism, the clash between scientific and religious explanations of celestial phenomena remains as strong as ever. Despite the various interpretations, Jerusalem's significance as a city cannot be overstated. It has been the focal point of religious devotion, political conflict, and cultural exchange for thousands of years. For Jews, Jerusalem is the location of the ancient temple, the center of their faith, and the place where God's presence once dwelt in the Holy of Holies. For Christians, it is the city where Jesus was crucified and resurrected, and where he will one day return to establish his kingdom. For Muslims, Jerusalem is the third holiest city, where the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven during the night journey. The convergence of these three major faiths gives Jerusalem a unique status in the world, making any event that occurs there of global significance. Adding to Jerusalem's mystical allure is the lore surrounding the Ark of the Covenant, the sacred chest said to contain the tablets of the Ten Commandments. The Ark has been the subject of countless legends, many of which center on its powerful spiritual significance. According to Jewish tradition, the Ark was housed in the Temple of Solomon, and its presence signified God's covenant with his people. The Ark is also said to have supernatural powers, capable of defeating entire armies and performing miracles. Its disappearance after the destruction of the first temple has only deepened its mystery, with many searching for its whereabouts for centuries. The recent speculation surrounding the potential discovery of the Ark in Jerusalem has added yet another layer to the city's already profound religious and historical significance. If the Ark were indeed to be found, it would be a momentous occasion for believers around the world. The ark represents not only a tangible connection to the divine, but also a symbol of faith, obedience, and God's enduring presence among his people. Its discovery would likely be seen as a confirmation of ancient prophecies and a sign of the coming age of peace and restoration promised in the Bible. For many, the celestial sounds heard over Jerusalem and the potential discovery of the ark are interconnected, both pointing to the fulfillment of God's plan for humanity. In the midst of these religious and historical interpretations, it is important to recognize that celestial phenomena, such as the recent event in Jerusalem, also serve as moments of reflection and introspection for people of all faiths. Whether one believes these events to be divine signs or natural occurrences, they invite us to consider the bigger questions of life. What is our purpose? Are we living in alignment with God's will? What role do we play in the unfolding of human history? The sight of a figure resembling Jesus Christ, coupled with the sound of trumpets, forces us to confront our own beliefs about the divine and our place in the world. At a time when the world is facing unprecedented challenges, political unrest, environmental crises, and social divisions, the message of hope and renewal that these celestial events seem to convey is more relevant than ever. While some may interpret these signs as harbingers of judgment, others see them as reminders of God's unchanging love and his desire for humanity to turn back to him. The trumpet sounds, echoing across the skies of Jerusalem, are not only calls to prepare for the second coming, but also invitations to live lives marked by faith, love, and compassion in the here and now. Ultimately, the recent celestial event in Jerusalem serves as a reminder that we are part of a larger story, one that transcends time and space. Whether through the lens of religion, history, or science, the significance of these phenomena lies in their ability to stir the human soul, prompting us to seek deeper truths and align our lives with the divine purpose. As we continue to witness such events, may we be inspired to draw closer to God, to seek his guidance, and to live out his love in a world that so desperately needs it.